Good morning, good day, good afternoon, or evening to wherever you are. I'm your smart boy, and today I'll be talking about my theory about Takemichi's real-time traveling trigger. So spoiler alert for those who haven't read the manga yet, and without any further ado, let's just jump right into the video. So as you notice, so far there are two persons responsible for taking Takemichi back to the 12 years in the past. Well, not exactly 12 years, but it is the past. Those persons are none other than Naoto and Mikey. And we all know that the first trigger, Naoto actually concluded that Takemichi has to shake hands with him in order to go back to the past. However, he can only go back to 12 years ago. Meanwhile, in the pretty recent chapters, we get to see Takemichi once again time travel. Only this time, he shook hands with Mikey, and he actually went back to 10 years ago, which actually destroyed Naoto's whole conclusion. So what if Naoto was never the trigger to activate the time travel power, and neither was Mikey? Here's my theory. The real trigger to activate the powers is actually Takemichi himself, and to be precise, his mental. He needs to have a very great mental power and purpose in order to go back in time, and in order to bake up his mental power, he needs the support and agreements from the others. And in his subconscious, the handshake with a certain person means that he is ready to go. I know that this sounds a bit crazy, so let me explain why I can say such things. First proof. The very first time when Takemichi time travels was when he was pushed by Akun onto a trail with an ongoing train. And guess who was the person there to shake hands with him? Nobody. In that timeline, Naoto was killed with his sister Hina, and as we knew at that time, Takemichi was full of regrets about his past life. So I concluded that those regrets are the main trigger. Of course, if we have regrets, we tend to want to fix the problems which caused the regrets in the first place. And if we are still unable to fix the problems that caused the regrets, but time kept moving and we know that we wouldn't be able to fix the problems anymore starting for the near future, guess what everyone would think? If only I could travel back in time. Second proof, the number of years that he can jump. When Takemichi time traveled for the first time, he came back to 12 years ago, right before the events which start to produce regrets for him in his later life. The event where his dream of becoming the top delinquent were crushed by Kiyomasa's gang and was forced to be their slave. Then Takemichi found Kid Naoto and explained his and his sister's death in the future, which subconsciously made him ready to go back to the future, because his regret at that time was that he couldn't save Hina or her brother. From then on, he can time travel every time he shook hands with Naoto. However, when he did it with Mikey, he came back to 10 years ago, which in my theory, he didn't go back to 12 years ago because he knew that Mikey was fine at that time, since he still talked to Mikey before he goes back to the future. And as you guess, here's the whole of the theory. How did Takemichi know that he has to go back 10 years ago? Why not like 9 or 8 or maybe less years ago? My opinion again, Takemichi feared that he couldn't get in contact with anyone to help him if he went too close with the current timeline. He knew that his buddies are not delinquent anymore and they have their own things to do now. They'll fill the hole for now. Third proof, when he shook hands with Naoto and it didn't work. I suspect that it's because his mental power was affected by Naoto, who actually rejected Takemichi's proposal before they actually shook hands, and therefore actually decreased his mental power a lot as he was hesitant. With Mikey, however, he didn't have much choices. Either he has to time travel or Mikey dies. He also told Mikey to ask for help to Takemichi, which in my opinion, that will increase his mental and purpose to time travel, which in my opinion again, the reason why Takemichi could time travel again, and this time he even shook hands with Mikey. There are sure a lot of holes in the theory, but I really hope that this makes sense. Let me know what you think in the comment down below, whether you have another theory or you can prove this theory is wrong or right. Thanks for watching and listening, have a nice day.